go bye-bye. So if you want your great-grandchildren to have this, we must stop now. We can't have any more lies. We can't have any more distortions. We can't have people telling us that biofuels are green and renewable. We can't have people telling us that there is such a thing as clean coal when that's chemically and physically impossible, and there is no such thing as clean coal. You can't really have clean coal. You can't really have clean fossil fuels. And there's no reason, really, for us to continue to do it. One of the things, another sort of obvious set of myths that they put out there for us, John McCain wants us to invest billions of dollars in developing the new battery that will thereby enable us to have electric cars. Well, the problem with this is just putting something off into the future, and the actual truth is we already have electric cars. We already have the batteries we need, and it's already a current and present technology. So when John McCain is telling us, oh, we need more research for a battery, either he's a liar or he doesn't know what he's talking about, one or the other. You know, which is it? So you have to ask yourself why people don't know this, why people, how people could come to the conclusion. I guess if you live maybe out in the Appalachian Mountains somewhere, or maybe in the middle of Montana, or South Dakota, or someplace, maybe you've never seen electric vehicles. But here in California, you can rent them for a day. You can, if you're a tourist, you can rent yourself a little buzz around town electric car and buzz around town in a little electric car. They are here, they are now, they are present technology. We have an electric bus in Santa Barbara. It does 50 miles, 60 miles per hour. It's been running for 20 years. And people try to tell me that electrical cars are something that needs research. No, it's right now. Now, can we improve upon what we know? Sure. Can we make better batteries than we now have? Sure. But we don't need to make better batteries in order to have fully electrical vehicles. Now, you can make a choice, and we're all making this choice together. You can have a car where you pay $100 to drive 300 miles, or you can have a car where you pay 15 cents to drive 300 miles. It's really, a choice we are now making collectively. So, are we going to invest in geothermal power and have incredibly cheap energy and electric cars and just plug our cars into the socket, charge them right up, and buzz around town and pay 15 cents to drive all over town for a couple of days? Or, are we going to continue to do things the expensive way because corporate oligarchy and evil people want to keep making money? And that's really what it comes down to. It's all about we are being lied to, we are being deceived, we are being misled so that people can continue to make money off of quote-unquote consumers by getting them to keep paying for what's more expensive instead of what's less expensive. They say markets correct themselves. That's only true when the market truly is able to operate freely. Right now, it's not operating freely. Right now, there are all sorts of disincentives to keep these things from hitting the market. And when you've got $2 billion to research clean coal, which any real chemist, any high school chemistry teacher can tell you is a flat-out impossibility. There will never be clean coal. We just spent $2 billion to research clean coal, and it's nonsense. It's impossible. There is not a single functioning clean coal plant in the entire world. Not one. It's a lie. But we just spent $2 billion to research it. Nuts. Why are we doing that? Because evil people who are invested in coal don't want to give up coal. Right? So that's the problem that we're facing. And we just need to say no to those people. We need to say, you know what? We don't want your coal. Coal is bad for us. It's pollution. It's bad for the environment. It gives people cancer. You got miners who are dying from mining in coal mines all their lives. They get freaking, no matter how you look at it. Same thing with plutonium. You got miners. They're going down there, they're mining the plutonium. They're getting cancer, they're dying 30 or 40 years early, and nobody's really giving a care, you know? I don't think that's the same way for us to solve our problems, especially when geothermal power really can't solve our problems. So what I'm advocating is a new green energy infrastructure that is 80% geothermal power and other percentiles, maybe 5 or 10, 15%, whatever, solar, wind, and tidal power. Because those are truly renewable resources, and we can go ahead and use them and know that we're not going to damage the ecology, we're not going to cause disease, we're not going to hurt the environment, we're not going, you know, to hurt ourselves doing it. So, the next thing I want to talk about is global warming. Because global warming is real. There's a lot of people on the internet and a lot of people out there who are saying, oh, global warming, you know, they don't know for sure. You know, the science isn't really in. Well, I have news for those people. There is not a single well-respected scientific body left in the world that denies that global warming is real and that we are causing it with fossil fuels. Not one. There are alleged scientists who are solitary, who are speaking out and saying, oh, we don't think maybe, you know, maybe it's this or maybe it's that or whatever, okay? But what you find out when you pull back the veil is those guys are paid off by Exxon. And what we find out when you investigate even a little deeper than that is that Exxon has spent billions of dollars on a misinformation campaign that has turned out to be successful. Because I don't have billions of dollars to go out there and tell people the truth. They have the money, so who's winning the argument right now? Well, they are. So, let's talk about some of the things that people like to say, well, it's not really true because of this. Number one thing you hear, it's the most ridiculous thing you'll ever hear, actually, if you know science, people like to say, well, the sun is causing global warming. Well, solar increase is a real phenomenon. And we do have solar increase. But the thing about it is that solar increase can only be, at most, responsible for 1/millionth or less of the warming that we're seeing. So when you compare causes to effects and how things really work, the amount of influence the sun could actually be having over global warming is minuscule. People talk about, oh, well, there's been natural cycles and the earth is heated and cooled over time and, you know, many millions of years ago it was hotter or cooler or whatever. That is also true, but that happened via natural cycles and things that were going on over geological time frames. Not in 200 years. Boom. 200 years in geological time is like over. It's a blink of the eye. Okay? Sure, the Earth was warmer millions of years ago, but it took hundreds of thousands or millions of years to get warmer and then cool down again. So you can't really say that this is a natural cycle, and we know that it is not. So those are the two main arguments that you hear from ignorant people who don't know what they're talking about to deny global warming. Global warming denial is a real big hot thing because people want to think that it's okay to keep driving their cars. They don't want to feel guilty. They don't want to give it up. They don't, you know, in a way you can't blame